Do you believe that prayer has the power to strengthen your health and well-being? Do you incorporate prayer into your everyday life? Are you open to doing so? Have you ever had someone give a prophecy over your life? Or are you just wondering, what exactly is prophecy in 2020? I thought that was something from the ancient times. Are you open to exploring these issues and much more? If so, then today's show is for you. Our guest will be sharing her journey into the world of prayer and prophecy. She will discuss how prayer and prophecy can support you on your journey. She'll be taking your questions, leading a group process, and I guess if spirit moves her, do some mini readings. So, as you know, as I like to say, get your pen and pad ready. You're gonna wanna take some notes. Buckle up. We're getting ready to take a ride in the quantum field, and with today's conversation, possibly way beyond. Buckle up. I wouldn't want you to go flying off to another dimension, or just maybe, that's exactly what you need. Welcome to the People and Pets Show. Welcome to the People and Pets Show. I'm so honored and grateful to have our guest today, Adrienne Manson. Adrienne, how are you this morning?
I am fantastic, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you. It's funny how you meet people, paths cross. I was actually on Adrienne's radio show probably a couple months ago, and, she was talking, she saw that I had a show, said, hey, she threw out some topics, do you think I'd be a good guest? And the one that really had some stickiness for me, at least, was the topic of prayer and prophecy. So as you're going to learn, she has an incredible story, how she got into this work and much more. She does many, many things, a very rich and diverse portfolio of activities that she does that, make this world a better place. So, thank you for being here, Adrienne. And I'd like to thank everyone here that's either live on the call through Zoom this morning or seeing this on replay. It's amazing what a difference a week, a few days, a few hours can make. There's so many things you can be doing with your time right now. And I'm so honored and grateful that you're either seeing with this live right now or on replay. As we go through our conversation, if you're seeing this on replay on the People and Pets Energetics Facebook page, please give this episode a like, love, thumbs up, and subscribe to the People and Pets page. If you're seeing it, it's election day here in Illinois, and I forgot to turn off my phone. All right. And if you're seeing this on YouTube channel of the People and Pets show channel, please subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. And most importantly, share it out with your friends. If you feel you received value from today's episode, please share it out. Again, as we go through the conversation, feel free to think of any questions you might have for Adrienne about prayer or prophecy or anything else that's on your plate right now and you might want a little help with. So, my name is Mark Hernandez. I'm the host of today's show, owner and founder of People and Pets Energetics. I'm a holistic practitioner that helps people, animals, and spaces that have hit the wall with health and well-being issues. Basically, I have intuitive gifts and extensive training to read the subtle energy fields and then identify and release non-beneficial energies locking in place stuff. People, what commonly gets people in the door? Typically, it's consciously aware people. They're already in the holistic space, doing yoga, meditation, going to acupuncturists, going to see a naturopath, things along those lines. They are already done a lot of things to help themselves that have maybe help some or not, and they're stuck. So they've gone through 90 to 95% of what I call the low-hanging fruit, things that help most people, and for whatever reason, they either have a partial issue with whatever is going on or still a big issue. That's when they'll pick up the phone and call me. The stuff that they're usually in some pain, and it's disrupting the quality of their everyday life. They just can't ignore it anymore. For your pets, two main categories. Changes in behavior. You have a dog or cat, it's been trained, starts going to the bathroom all over the house. Maybe separation anxiety, introduce a new animal into the household, dynamics get wonky. That's when people will pick up the phone and call me about their pet. The other category is people have taken their pet to the vet. And let me add, if you're a person, your first stop is always your medical doctors. If you're an animal, the first stop is always your vet. So if it's that peeing and pooing, get it checked out, make sure nothing's going on veterinarily. And sometimes the vet does discover something going on. In those cases, I can provide a layer of energetic support. So this is something you do in addition to the excellent veterinary care your animal is already receiving. The last category, spaces. We've all walked into places that just have wonky energies. You walk and you go, oh, I got to get out of here. I was just thinking this morning, this type of work. So what I do is I can identify and release non-beneficial energies that are making a space wonky. This type of work would be especially beneficial for hospitals, nursing homes, any medical offices, any place where, people are worried if they have X, Y, or Z, we leave our energetic signature wherever we go. And I think it's particularly intense now. So that's one thing, schools, hospitals, or just your home and property. All my work is non-invasive, safe, gentle, and yields results. I do 95, and probably right now with everything going on, probably 100% of my consultations by phone or video technology. I'm a remote healer. So with your permission, I can see what's going on with your space, yourself, or with your pet. And your pet gives me permission too. So that's who I am and what I do in a nutshell. One more person. So with that long introduction, let me introduce today's guest, Adrienne Manson. All right. So I'm so happy to introduce today's guest, Adrienne Manson. Adrienne Manson, AKA Fierce, is a spirit strategist. She is gifted in prophetic visions of past, present, future, and connects and pulls your past patterns forward to heal, correct, and restore your present circumstances. She frequently gives on-target words of prophecy for any individual. She has the ability to see the individual's complete family problem and situations. She also prays over business transactions, real estate contracts, legal matter, and court cases. Adrienne is the founder of the Fierce Female Network. She is passionate about inspiring those who are challenged with Alzheimer's and encourages their caretakers. And we all know that if you're caring for a loved one, especially an elderly person that has a lot on their plate, can be a very emotionally taxing, and caretakers need a lot of support, so it's very valuable. She also provides support to parents who are challenged by caring for children with cancer. She encourages, uplifts, and inspires those who experience grief, loss, or just really tough life situations. And, obviously a lot of people have been going through that for a long period of time. I think we'll have a new wave of people that are experiencing new challenges of losses with everything that's going on in the world. For most of her adult life, she has experienced major traumas, including a near-death experience. Spending a considerable amount of time in different forms of recovery and rehabilitation, everything from recovering from depression, physical rehabilitation, these have been challenging processes. At several times, she lived in 2 different homeless shelters where she rebuilt, reinvented, and restructured her life. On August 15, 2007, Adrienne survived a ruptured brain aneurysm, which surgeons have described it to be a miraculous survival. These surgeons repeated to her and her mother after the surgery, "We have no idea how this woman survived. Her brain was full of blood." Dr. Demetrius Lopez from the Rush Medical Center, I believe in Chicago, stated, "It was everywhere, all over. It is a mystery how she survived." The topic of our conversation today is the power and prayer of prophecy. Adrienne, welcome to the People and Pet Show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, as we saw just even in the introduction, you've had a remarkable journey, a lot of challenges that you outlined.
Yeah.
And I guess my first question I like to ask a lot of my guests is just, how did you exactly start getting into the world of prayer and prophecy? Is this something you've been doing all your life, or was it after the aneurysm? Please share a little bit of that journey.
Yes, absolutely. For most of my life, I have been involved with prayer at a young age, starting around 17, 18 years of age.
Yeah.
I began praying with different individuals um, in the church and, of course, outside of the church, different individuals. I did a lot of work with those that had issues with addiction.
Mhm.
I've prayed with different individuals on the streets of Chicago. A lot of my ministry and work was helping those individuals, praying with them, showing them love, giving them different things that they needed for their everyday life challenges from day to day. But mostly they would call. I would give my phone number. They would call or come by my home, come inside. I would pray with them, different individuals. And it was just a very powerful, this was back in the 80s. So
Mhm.
this was in the 80s when I began working with individuals with prayer. And I began to notice that the gift of prophecy was working in my life. And it became stronger and stronger, having different dreams and visions and using those giftings to help different individuals.
Mhm. Cool. So with that, the what have you seen? So, what are some of the most common misperceptions most people have about prayer and about prophecy?
Well, one misconception different individuals have about prophecy and Pacific, individuals think that it just works 24/7, or you can turn the gift on and off at will. It does not work that way. At least for me, it does not work that
Yeah.
way. So when someone comes into my presence, I may see something, I may have a word. And I would do want to say this with the word, with prophecy, the gift of knowledge and wisdom, a lot of times for me, works together.
Mhm.
And so knowledge, the gift of knowledge works, if, for instance, if someone comes in my presence, I will see something about that person. They don't have to tell me anything about them. And
Mhm.
it works in conjunction with prophecy. As far as wisdom, that's me instructing that individual what they need to do and what they can do to enhance their life without them telling me any information about their lives. Also, that works in conjunction with prophecy.
Okay. Very cool. Um, so, uh, so what are some of the most common reasons people have sought your help, like over the last 6 months? What's coming through the door a lot right now?
Over the last 6 months, when we see it a lot online, offline, individuals are wanting to know information about their business, how to increase their exposure. Different individuals want to know how to bring more value to their business. I've helped authors, helping them to get bookings and public speakings. And so that has what's been coming through the door. And I do want to say this specifically about what's been coming up lately.
Yeah.
Different individuals, singles, having problems with dating and maybe finding that special someone, that significant other, having anxiety about being able to find that special someone. And so dealing with a lot of anxiety issues that has been coming through the door as well.
That's so funny you mentioned that because about a month ago, I was on another show where I was talking about helping women dissolve their dating blocks to finding the right man. So it was interesting.
Yes.
And yeah, there are a variety of reasons why people were blocked, repeating patterns,
Mhm.
some things from this lifetime, but I do multidimensional healing. So sometimes it's from other timelines.
Yes.
So very interesting. Okay. So the listeners that are on the call, if you have any questions um, for Adrienne, feel free to either write them in the chat box or raise your hand. So Adrienne, is there some type of group process you might be able to lead us through this morning, just to give a kind of a sample of a prayer, prophecy, whatever you feel guided to do?
Absolutely. We can do a group process. Individuals that's listening, or if they're viewing the video, they can go ahead and type in their questions in the chat box, and I'll be more than happy to do a group process just to give them an example of how prophecy works. We can certainly do that.
Yeah. Or also, I know, because often you said that, people, you can just see someone or whatever, just, I don't know, I'm going to say it in my words, kind of
Okay.
intuit what people need to hear. So is there some type of like group prayer or prophecy you can just give for the group, either those viewing live or on replay?
A group prayer.
Yeah. Sometimes, again, I know each person works differently. Like I can tap into the group, just say intuitively know what comes through, what they need to hear as a collective. Is there anything, is that something you do?
Yes, that is something I do. Most times I do individual. Uh, yes, I do individual prophecy. I do individual prayers, but I can certainly do a group. If you're asking me to do a group word of prophecy, I can certainly do that.
Yeah. And it, whatever length, it doesn't have to be, long, but just whatever you think people really need to hear right now.
Okay. Well, I do see that's popping in right now is a lot of questions. Some individuals are feeling what's the word? Feeling like they don't have the gifting, or they don't have the talent to write what they want to write. Some individuals that's listening, they may want to go ahead and jump into the pool and get their feet wet as far as writing a book, being an author, writing poems and writing literature, and they may feel that they don't know which path to take or how to get started to write their journey. And so I think that those individuals have to exercise their gift of writing, and they want to know how to get started, what to do. So if they do have questions in the realm of how to get started with penning their journey and putting it on paper, I'd be more than happy to answer their questions in regard to getting their story. I hear a lot of people have messages. People want to know how to get their message across to the masses. Some of the individuals that's listening, they want to know how to journal their story and how to get it out to the masses, and how to find their specific audience and how to tap into their audience and to connect.
Okay, great. So we have a question. It's in the chat box, and maybe Jill, if you're able to come on, I'll bring you on live. I know. It says, hi, Adrienne Mark. I would love to hear anything about my blocks to love and what steps I can take to remove them. Yeah, she may have to jump off, but so if you can help, her name's Jill. She's in New York City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And she wants to know how to remove her blocks of
Yeah,
love.
love. Yeah, she's had a lot
Okay.
of challenges with finding the right guy. Love. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jill, the first thing do want to mention is past experiences. To remove that block, you want to take a look at your past and see if you can reverse and do something different other than what you've done in the past. Your picker is, I don't mean to offend anyone.
Yeah.
Your picker is not on target. You're picking the wrong ones. And so as far as love blocks, and you're going past individuals, I do see that 2 or 3 different gentlemen have tried to introduce themselves, and you weren't paying attention. You went past some individuals that were really on point and key for you, and you missed them. You're missing the people that's coming through the door for you. You're not seeing, it's something that's not on target with you. You're missing those individuals. And to remove your love blockers, you got to take the blinders off and not be missing. I'm seeing the fruit. The fruit has been coming through your door, but you haven't been seeing those individuals. And so you need to readjust and realign so that if you can see those individuals that's trying to tap you on the shoulder. So there's been 2 or 3 that I've seen, different individuals, different men that's been trying to tap you on the shoulder and you miss them. And so I don't want you to miss any more individuals. And so that's the key point right now, is to remember to be paying attention and being alert when you're going about your daily activities with working, maybe going back and forth to different stores and paying attention so you don't miss those individuals that's coming through. And there's someone that's going to come in within the next week or so, within the next 7 days. And so I don't want you to miss this gentleman. It can be a friend or someone that you already know. Don't miss this person. And they may want to open a conversation with you, just a regular conversation. So don't miss that opportunity. There's another opportunity that's coming in for you within the next 7 days.
Yeah, Jill, if you're on the line and can unmute yourself or just write back, I know you have to go shortly to something, but if you can unmute yourself, Jill, I'm going to try it and just see. Let me just see. Hi, Jill, can you hear me? Okay. Well,
hi.
Right.
Hi.
Hi, Jill.
Sorry, I've got to run. Thank you so much, Adrienne.
You're
it's
welcome.
Very interesting. I'm, my eyes are very open. Hearing what you said, it should be interesting because I'm in New York and everybody's very quarantined, so I'm not really seeing anybody. But in the next 7 days, I will be on the lookout, and I'll certainly write you back if something happens. So thank you so much and have a great day.
You're welcome. And now when I know that everyone is quarantined, but I mean in the past, have you been missing individuals in the past that's been trying to have a conversation with you before the coronavirus? I don't mean right now.
I know. I really honestly can't think of anybody. That's how, I don't know, weird it's been for me, but I'm gonna look at things differently when they come along.
Okay.
So thank you so much for that message.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and thanks for all of this chat. I'm gonna re-listen later.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Jill.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting because, I think here at least in the US, we're taught to be goal-focused, very specific about what we want. And I think sometimes it's like everything, it's a balance. Sometimes that can lead to rigidity. Like you kind of said, maybe rejecting suitable options, be it for a love relationship, a work opportunity, or whatever it is, because we get too rigid. And I'd like to add one of my good friends and a previous guest on the People and Pet Show, Rudy Hunter, has this very cool MP3 where he talks about people having their agendas, okay, for whatever it is, work, love, if you're looking for a partner, it has to be blue-eyed, doctor, whatever, that he calls, if you have all those expectations put on things, you have an agenda and you tend to repel other certain opportunities. Does that kind of resonate with what you're saying, Adrienne?
Yes, it does. That's very true. And that's what happens a lot of time, because when you have an agenda, you're blocking out the possibilities of what can come in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Jill. And anyone else have a question? We have a few other people on the line, so you can either raise your hand right in the chat box or just unmute yourself if you'd like to ask a question to Adrienne. Great opportunity. Get a little prayer, a mini prayer, prophecy, whatever you'd like support with this morning. Anyone else want to jump in? Okay. So, okay, maybe they're formulating their questions.
Maybe so.
Yeah, or a little shy. Get off the sideline. Mandy's calling in from Hong Kong. I know they've been going through stuff for a while with different things.
Yeah.
Political and coronavirus, like the rest of the world is right now. Again, I know Kim's on the line also from Wisconsin. Kim, if you have a question, want to jump in?
Hi, Kim. Hi, Mandy.
All right. So let's go back to what the point you mentioned. A lot of people are seeking help with businesses
Yes.
even before last week, but especially now where things are coming to a virtual standstill, right? I mean, especially for small businesses. I think of a lot of ways that like, coaches, practitioners, at least potentially, prospect for new clients or meet people, or at lots of times live in-person networking events. And at least here in Chicago, a lot of the ones I regularly attend, for understandable reasons have been canceled. So,
Yes.
what piece of advice would you give people right now, especially like small business owners, maybe solopreneurs that, it's a shifting landscape for everyone, but especially those people?
Advice as far as getting new clients.
Yeah, getting new clients, keeping their business, thriving or moving, especially right now when a lot of people are kind of cocooning, being quarantined, self-quarantine, or, recommended by governments to quarantine. Or what would your suggestions be?
Well, right now it's really tough, of course, because of the coronavirus. Not many people are moving about. Not many people, everyone is pretty much being safe. And so we all want to be safe during this particular time. And so I think different individuals, after everything settles down with coronavirus, I would recommend for individuals to connect with their community, connect with your community to bring brand and value to your brand. And so one way is to connect to the community. Maybe even during this time, if you have a business and you can find a way to connect to the community to help and to relieve the stress. Of course, not make an event, but you can connect with your community online, have some type of giveaway that individuals can use during this distressing time. You can do that online, set up something online to help your business to thrive during this time, is to give away even small things. There's a shortage of different things. If there's a way that your business has a way of, some people have soap or whatever your business is, you can give away maybe little samples of what you do and some of the items that you have to just help different individuals and to kind of lift their spirit and to reconnect with the community. That's one way that you can do something during this time that everyone is very stressed about the coronavirus.
Yeah, great. And also in the intro, I want to kind of segue back to some words we said at the beginning of the introduction of the show, was your work with Alzheimer's, I guess, especially the caregivers of people with Alzheimer's, and also the parents of kids with children with cancer. Could you speak a little bit about your work in those areas too?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Of course, that disease affects so many different individuals, and it's just great to be able to support individuals with caregiving. I had the radio program for caregivers, and I connected with individuals. I had a co-host, and he did a lot of workshops around the United States, helping caregivers and helping them to bring relief and being able to give them spa days and how to have self-care, self-treatment to be able to re-energize themselves so they have a little time off and they're able to care for themselves so that they can care for their loved ones. And so I did that in the past as far as giving away spa days and where they can go into a spa, into their area, wherever they lived, with their city, and just enjoy a massage, enjoy maybe a pedicure, enjoy a manicure, and just a time to relax and just kind of not think about anything and being able to re-energize your spirit so that you can go back to work and be able to be at your 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great, because I've been reflecting over like the last year for myself, kind of carefully examining my own energetic self-care practices, everything from, the eating well, the sleep, all the fundamentals that, we all need, but also
Yes.
at the energetic level, And since I work with a lot of people that have a lot of stuff going on, the spiritual self-care too, the
Right.
spiritual protection, and I'm in the process of putting together a package along those lines. There are a lot of people that have done a lot of these pieces, but I feel like it's great to have things, where people, I call it kind of like going through the automatic car wash. I listen to MP3s where it helps with a lot of things, clear gunk. But sometimes it's like the car wash, it gets probably 94% of the grit and grime. But sometimes you need to go in there at hand detail, do the manual wash, right? Do the fine points. So I'm putting together something along those lines. Yeah. So why don't you share with us a few of your all-time favorite client success stories? Where were people before? Where were they after working with you?
Well, different individuals that I worked with, one young lady in particular, she came to me and she had issues with finances. She was going through a very difficult time. She didn't have any gas in her home. This was during a winter.
Yeah.
She didn't have gas in the home, and she came home from work and everything was turned off, and she needed to get money together to get the gas back on. And she called me and she was telling me about her situation. And I prayed over her situation. I told her that she was going to receive a miracle, financial miracle.
Okay.
And it did happen. The money came in. I told her what to do as far as her home to bring the finances in.
Yeah.
It happened. The money came in. She needed $600 to get it back on. Now, mind you, she needed it within 48 hours to get it back on. She got the money in. She got it turned back on, and everything worked out beautifully.
Great. Great. So where do you see your work heading in the next couple of years?
In the next couple of years?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's going to be exciting. Some may know and some may not know. I'm building a fierce nation, my tribe. I'm building up my tribe. And so it's growing. It's growing. And so I'm excited about that, building up the network, the television network, and the radio. And so we're going to be releasing something here locally via television.
Great.
And so I'm excited about that. We're going to be on a particular channel here in Chicago. And I'll announce it once it has hit the airways.
Great. Do you by chance know Dr. Stephanie Wilson Coleman here in Chicago?
No, I don't.
Okay. Off air, I'll introduce y'all.
Okay.
Y'all would have a lot to talk about, and she's a great person too.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. So,
Well,
do you have any final thoughts or comments you'd like to leave our audience with today?
I do. I wanted to know if Mandy had any questions that maybe she wanted to type into the chat box. Did she have a question that she wanted to answer?
Yeah, it's been kind of quiet today, but we'll
or
get to that
any other participant that had a question that they want to ask, and maybe they're a little hesitant.
Yeah, well, they can, after the show, maybe even write it on the Facebook page, comment, but sometimes I have people that just want to listen, and that's fine too. So please share with the audience the best way to contact you: website, social media, phone. Please share that information.
Yes, if anyone wants to book me for an interview, or if they want to work with me, they can call my toll-free number, 888-800-9396. And also, I want to ask a question.
Sure.
Someone is a little hesitant about asking about their vehicle. If something is going on with your vehicle, I don't know. They just came through a few moments. So while we have a few moments before we end, I just kind of wanted to put that out there. If they want to ask that question, I'd be more than happy to answer that question.
Can you go ahead and give just some guidance? Because it may be someone also on the replay that's not on the call right now, but whether they're seeing it. Can you give some general guidance of next steps they may want to take with that, about that vehicle?
Yes, it was coming in about a car and a vehicle. So take someone with you. It's a single woman. She's by herself. I don't know. Sometimes women are afraid, so don't be afraid. Matter of fact, this is a young person between the ages of 20 to 25.
Okay.
And okay, so take someone with you. Don't be afraid. Don't let them pressure you. Of course, don't be pressured. Use your common sense. Don't buy under pressure. And then there's a second person as far as wanting to trade in their vehicle and trade up. Don't do it. Wait a little bit. Don't trade up. Wait about 3 months before you go ahead and trade up. And then there's someone else as far as a lease. Leasing the vehicle is not a good time right now. You want to wait about 6 months before you do that with your vehicle. Don't lease. So there's 3 different individuals. Don't lease right now. There's the other person is thinking about trading up. Wait, just wait. Just wait. Now is not a good time to do that. Wait for a little bit before you go ahead and do anything with your cars and with your vehicles.
Yeah, there may be a really amazing sale in 2 or 3 months if everyone's quarantined for the next 3 months. Well, it is what it is. We do what we got to do. So again, I think Mandy, one last chance. Mandy in Hong Kong, any questions for Adrienne? She may not. That's all right. She just wants to listen.
Hi.
Oh, here.
Hi, Mandy. Hi.
Actually, I'm on the train, so hi.
Do you have a question? You can ask a question if you have one. She's talking about prayer and prophecy. You're in Hong Kong, right?
Sorry. What is prophecy?
No. The topic today is prayer and prophecy. Do you have any questions? Do you need prayer for your finances or anything? Anything Adrienne can help you with?
Yes. Actually, how to pray for the finance?
Yeah, she'd like a prayer for her financial situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I pray for Mandy right now for her financial situation. I'm praying for breakthroughs. I'm speaking that a financial breakthrough will come into your personal situation, your personal family. I'm praying that things will be broken, new finances new avenues and new revenue. And so, Mandy, you will be opening up generation of financial revenue. I can't see you, but I'm speaking ways to create new finance and new revenues. Are you understanding what I'm saying? You're welcome.
So creating new finance, right?
Creating new revenues for yourself. Something that you hadn't thought about doing is going to generate more money to come into your household.
Oh, okay. In future or how many months?
In the future, are you crafty with arts and crafts, making things with your hands? Making things with your hands?
Make things with your hands, like earrings or stuff like that. I don't know.
Actually, I do a house renovation job, so never use I only writing essays and stuff, writing emails to my clients and stuff like that.
You do things in the house?
In the house, I don't have anything to do something in my house.
I think she and her husband have like a home, not home restoration, but remodeling business or something like that in Hong Kong.
Oh, that's working with your hands. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Did you want to say something? She raised her hand.
Yeah, go ahead, Mandy. Go ahead and talk.
Oh, no. I just nothing special.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, stay safe. Be well in Hong Kong.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's everyone wear a mask like in Hong Kong. So I'm on the train. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Mandy. So again, Adrienne, thank you for being my guest on the People and Pets Show.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And as you know, we go live, the People and Pet Show live every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I interview leading edge guests in the area of holistic health and wellness for people, animals, and spaces. Next week, I'll be announcing the topic. We either have a last minute guest speaker. I'll be doing some live mini hearings. So stay tuned, check it out. So if you got a lot of value out of today's show, make sure to share it out, give it some loves and likes. And always remember, if you're stuck in some area of your life, you've done things that help 95% of the people, and you're still about the same, give me a call. We can move things along. So again, thank you everyone for being on the People and Pet Show. Have a great rest of the week and take care, be safe, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.